The governor's watch. On a rain-slicked back road in rural Georgia, a gold pocket watch lay amidst shattered glass, its chain broken. A distinguished black man in torn clothes stood bloodied, staring down three uniformed officers now frozen in horror. They'd just seen the gubernatorial seal on his phone. "Gentlemen," he said, voice calm but commanding, "shall we discuss what happens when officers assault the governor of Georgia?" This is the story of how one man's journey home exposed a corrupt system and sparked a reckoning that changed a county forever. Governor James Carter, Georgia's first black governor, gazed out the window of his Atlanta mansion as dawn painted the city gold. At 68, his face bore the lines of a life spent fighting for justice, but his eyes burned with the same fire that had carried him from rural Willow Creek County to the state's highest office. Today, he would return to his hometown not as a governor, but as an ordinary man. No security, no press, just James, driving his restored 1967 Pontiac through the backroads of his youth. His chief of staff, Sarah Thompson, had protested the night before. "Governor, it's reckless to go alone to Willow Creek. The political climate's a powder keg, and those sheriff's department complaints, harassment, illegal seizure make it too dangerous." James had smiled, unruffled. "Sarah, I need to see it for myself, without the filter of my title." He chose worn jeans, a faded button-down, and an old leather jacket, leaving his suits behind. The only nod to his past was his grandfather's gold pocket watch, a family heirloom etched with "To Liberty's Dawn." It had survived slavery, Jim Crow, and the civil rights era, symbol of resilience. Reports of misconduct in Willow Creek's sheriff's department had troubled James for months. Official complaints vanished, and state probes stalled. He wanted to experience the county as an ordinary citizen, especially a black one, to understand the truth. His daughter called as he prepared to leave, her voice tense. "Dad, tensions are high. 2 lawmakers got threats yesterday over your police reform bill." James reassured her. "I'll be back for tomorrow's Justice Department meeting. This is about seeing what others live every day." Slipping out before his staff arrived, James started his Pontiac and left Atlanta's skyline behind. The open road felt freeing, though a quiet unease lingered. Willow Creek had changed since his childhood, and he wasn't sure what awaited him. The Georgia countryside unfolded farms, pine forests, and mist-cloaked valleys. As highways turned to neglected county roads, James noted the decay, potholes, rusted bridges, abandoned stores. 3 hours in, hunger led him to a diner called Mama's Kitchen, its neon sign flickering. Inside, conversations hushed as patrons eyed him, a black stranger in a white rural area. He sat by the window, watching his Pontiac. A waitress, Betty, poured coffee without asking. "Been a while since I passed through," James said, slipping into the drawl of his youth. "How's Willow Creek doing?" Betty's eyes flicked over him. "Same as always. Some thrive, most scrape by. Stick to Route 12 if you're passing through, especially with that car." Her warning was clear. At the counter, 3 men grumbled about the sheriff's department targeting out-of-towners, mentioning Deputy Carl Hayes and a system for seizures. James listened, memorizing names. Betty returned, whispering, "Avoid County Road 6. Trouble finds folks who don't blend in." James nodded, grateful for her risk. His phone buzzed. Lieutenant Governor Tom Bradley. "Justice Department's here early, asking about Willow Creek." James frowned. "I'm unavailable until tonight." "Stall them." He paid, tipped generously, and faced a choice: the safe Route 12 or County Road 6, where trouble lurked. The governor in him knew caution. The man wanted truth. He turned toward County Road 6. Just past a faded "Welcome to Willow Creek" sign, James's Pontiac sputtered briefly. He slowed, checking gauges, when a patrol car appeared in his rearview mirror, tailing him for miles. Red and blue lights flashed. James pulled over, hands at 10 and 2, heart steady but alert. Deputy Carl Hayes approached, sunglasses hiding his eyes, hand on his holster. "License and registration," he barked, offering no reason for the stop. "Good afternoon, officer," James said evenly. "May I ask why I'm being pulled over?" Hayes's tone hardened. "License." "Now." James kept his hands visible. "I'm James Carter. I left my wallet at my last stop. Is there a problem with my driving?" Hayes smirked, signaling his partner, Deputy Ryan Parker. "Step out of the vehicle." James complied, standing tall beside his Pontiac. "That's a fine watch," Hayes said, eyeing the gold timepiece. "Where'd you get it?" His tone implied theft. "Family heirloom," James replied. A third officer, Sergeant Greg Sullivan, arrived, his presence commanding. "No ID, Fancy car, and this watch, Sullivan said, circling James. Makes me wonder what you're hiding. We're searching your vehicle. I don't consent, James said firmly. Sullivan sneered. You were doing 47 in a 45, and that taillight's dim. The lie hung in the air. Parker began ransacking the Pontiac, tossing upholstery aside. Hayes grabbed James's arm, and Sullivan reached for the watch. In the struggle, James was shoved to the ground, asphalt scraping his cheek. His lip split, blood dripping, as Sullivan snapped the watch's chain, pocketing it. Should have cooperated, he taunted. Cuffed and bloodied, James was shoved into Sullivan's cruiser. His Pontiac was left behind, keys taken. Through the partition, he overheard Hayes. Search it again. Find something. Sullivan drove to an old sheriff's substation, hidden by pines, its abandoned status a clear lie. Inside, shelves held seized electronics, jewelry, and cash a criminal enterprise disguised as law enforcement. Sheriff Dan Mitchell looked up, annoyed at James's bloodied state. Sullivan, I said keep it clean. Sullivan shrugged, tossing the watch. No ID, claims it's an heirloom. Mitchell examined it. 18-karat gold, Swiss movement, worth thousands. James stood tall. I've requested medical attention and legal counsel. You've assaulted me and seized my property without cause. Mitchell scoffed, but unease flickered. Run his name, he ordered. The database returned nothing. James's gubernatorial status was shielded. He seized the moment. Willow Creek leads the state in asset forfeitures but has no matching charges. The state controller's investigating. Doubt spread among the deputies. Mitchell handed James a phone. Instead of family, he dialed Attorney General Lisa Harper. Lisa, it's James. Protocol Delta Willow is active. Artifact compromised. Urgent. He hung, leaving the deputy stunned. In a closet-turned interrogation room, James met rookie deputy Ben Foster, who'd shown unease at the stop. Foster brought water and a first aid kit. This isn't right, he whispered. James nodded. You can help fix it, Ben. When investigators arrive, your choice matters. Foster hesitated. They've done this for years, targeting outsiders, minorities. It's worse now. Outside, Sheriff Mitchell grew frantic, internet searches hinting at James's possible government ties. Wise's phone got state officials' numbers. He shouted at Sullivan, who denied the risk. But unmarked cars were spotted nearby, state agents closing in. Attorney General Harper mobilized the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI. James's phone tracker pinpointed the substation. Agent Mike Larson led a tactical team, prioritizing stealth. They think he's a nobody. That's our edge, Larson briefed. In Atlanta, Sarah Thompson activated emergency protocols, horrified but focused. At the substation, James dropped hints of high-level knowledge, unnerving deputies. Curious how Willow Creek got that $2 million grant, he mused. Oversight's strict on evidence handling. Mitchell's searches found photos of Governor Carter, similarities undeniable. Panic set in. Sullivan admitted taking the watch as insurance, sparking a shouting match with Mitchell. James refused release without his watch and proper documentation, stalling to gather evidence. Foster re-entered with 2 GBI agents. Sheriff, I reported this, Foster said, resolute. Sullivan reached for his gun, but Mitchell barked, stand down. Agent Larson flashed his badge. We're here for unlawful detention. James stepped forward, accepting his spare ID from Larson. I'm James Carter, Governor of Georgia. You've detained me, assaulted me, and stolen my family's artifact. Worse, you've preyed on countless citizens. The room froze. Deputy Parker dropped his clipboard. Mitchell aged visibly. Sullivan stammered. The governor wouldn't drive alone. James turned to Mitchell. Return my watch. Sullivan retrieved it from his locker, chain broken. James secured it, addressing the room. Every detainee from the past 30 days, contact them. I want all seizure records. Foster, you'll assist. As agents secured the station, Juan Morales, a Hispanic detainee, whispered, 3 days, no charges. They took $4,000. James nodded, promising justice. Outside, James held a press conference, blood and torn clothes unhidden. Today, I was profiled, assaulted, and robbed by those sworn to protect. This happens to citizens without my power. That ends now. He detailed the department's crimes, introduced Morales, and praised Foster. Showing the watch, he said, it survived slavery and Jim Crow. Today, it saw justice begin. Mitchell and Sullivan were arrested, their ledger of stolen goods found. Foster was named interim overseer. Locals, including Betty, gathered, their hope palpable. James stayed until evidence was secured, then returned to Atlanta, watch in pocket, its broken chain a reminder of work ahead. 6 months later, James signed the Law Enforcement Accountability Act, reforming asset forfeiture and mandating oversight. Willow Creek's Sheriff's Department was rebuilt under community supervision. Foster joined a state reform commission, and Morales worked in the Justice Department. The watch, restored but with its broken chain displayed, anchored a museum exhibit on Georgia's civil rights journey. James sat in his mansion garden, watch in hand, its ticking steady. Betty's words echoed, "Your grandfather's eyes." The fight wasn't over, but Willow Creek's transformation proved change was possible. One traffic stop had exposed a rotten system, and one man's courage had dismantled it. What do you think about James's story? Have you or someone you know faced injustice or violence from those in power? Share your thoughts below. Do you believe accountability can heal broken trust, or is the system too flawed? Your voice matters. Like and share to spark this vital conversation.